The wild card weekend is behind us in the NFL. The playoffs have officially started. Let me take these off. So you're not distracted by the little ring light. I forgot my other light, and we're just going to keep it pushing, all right? But NFL wild card weekend is over. There were winners, there were losers, there were heartbreaks, there were close games, there were not so close games. You saw it just the same as I do. And you see the title. Right now, little bit of an open letter to the losers fan base. Some of you, it's okay. Some of you, not so much. And this is going to be a quick little snappy video I'm going to be in. I'm going to be out. Let's get to it. First of all, the Los Angeles Chargers losing to the Houston Texans. Chargers fans, Los Angeles Chargers, you're fine. Don't hit the panic button. It's not time to completely, Jim Harbaugh needs to be fired, and it's fine. You will be fine. The big downside of the Los Angeles Chargers for a long time has been coaching. I think you got the proper coach in Jim Harbaugh. I think you got the proper coach. Here's what you need to do. You need to get some receiver help. You probably need to replace Khalil Mack, get Joey Bosa a decent little pass rushing tandem, maybe add some depth into that DB room, get receivers, and most of all, cross your fingers and hope this isn't a typical Herbie playoff performance. He hasn't done great in the playoffs his entire career. We remember the comeback a couple of years ago in Jacksonville. We remember that. But you were playing a Houston Texans team that is a good football team. Yes, they were beat up. Yes, they haven't been playing too great over the past month or so. But it's still a pretty good Texans team. It's okay. You will be okay. Justin Herbert will learn from this. Get you a couple more pieces. You have the coach. Unfortunately, you play in the same division as Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but you might be able to sneak one or two past them, all right? You will be okay. The Pittsburgh Steelers losing to the Baltimore Ravens. Listen, Pittsburgh, come here. You need serious change. The Pittsburgh Steelers need serious change in that front office, in that franchise, on that team. You need serious change. Because this team's identity right now is just being a borderline playoff team. They've been a borderline playoff team for the past decade. It's gotten you nowhere. It's just kept you mediocre. You need an identity change. Now, the big conversation around that is firing Mike Tomlin. Do you fire Mike Tomlin? Do you not fire Mike Tomlin? I know as soon as Mike Tomlin does get fired, if he does get fired, he's going to get immediately hired somewhere else. He is a very, very good head coach. But the Pittsburgh Steelers right now should be after, a complete identity change in that entire organization. Will that happen? I don't know. Pittsburgh Steelers don't fire head coaches. One thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers you should know. Pittsburgh Steelers don't fire head coaches, especially head coaches that win so consistently. Mike Tomlin, no Super Bowls, not winning in the playoffs consistently, but at least in the regular season, constantly turning out winning seasons. The problem is, as I said, that's just kept you as a borderline playoff team for the last decade. That's not okay. Am I going to say you should fire Mike Tomlin? I don't know. I'm not in the front office. I'm not going to claim to be some football genius. But like I said, play a drinking game with how many times I say it, you need an identity change. I'm going to say that you should probably fire Mike Tomlin. It's going to be hard to find a coach as good as Mike Tomlin. Absolutely. But bringing a new face in with new ideas that's going to bring a new energy to that building, I think is a very, very, very much needed thing for this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Do I think it's going to happen? Is it likely to happen? No. They don't fire head coaches. Mike Tomlin has been a consistent winner in the regular season. But if y'all want to get anywhere, you really, really need an identity change. Denver Broncos getting absolutely throttled by the Buffalo Bills. Denver, I know you're not shocked. Even if you're a heavy Denver Broncos win the Super Bowl every year, you can sit down and say, yeah, no, we got slaughtered by a top 3 team in the AFC, a top 3 team in the NFL, arguably, you're okay. You have a young rookie quarterback who could be the franchise guy, shows a lot of good signs of being the franchise guy. He got the coach down. You got a good young defense. Get you some weapons on the outside. Buff up that offensive line a little bit. Maybe get a more consistent running game, and you will be okay. You have a good young team. You have a base. You have the coaching. You will be okay. You will be good in the future. There's no reason to panic. No nothing. I don't even think you're panicking. So me saying this is kind of a little confirmation. Confirmation bias isn't really the thing, but a little confirmation of what you already think. This Denver Broncos team has a bright future. It depends on Bo Nix. Can Bo Nix play well? Can he play well consistently? We'll see. The Green Bay Packers losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, this game comes down to just bad luck. Just bad luck. Your kicker missed a field goal. You were already down a couple wide receivers, and you went down 2 more receivers with Romeo Doubs going out and Jaden Reed going. I believe it was Jaden Reed going out. That didn't help at all against probably the best built team in football. A defense that's been revived. The best team the Philadelphia Eagles have had since that 2017 Eagles run. You were up against stupid, unbelievable odds, and you still were in the game for a majority of the time. With the way your team was, without your best defensive player, arguably in Jair Alexander, however you say his name, without your top receiver, and then losing your number 2 and number 3, and Jordan Love not really being at 100%. I believe Jordan Love wasn't really at 100%. And you were still competitive with arguably the best team in the NFL. Honestly, you should be giving yourself a pat on the back. You were just a victim of bad luck. That's it. I'm not saying run it back with the same guys. You need some pieces. Especially with Jair Alexander maybe leaving. Don't let him leave. Don't let him go. The cornerback room is not great. Jair Alexander makes it good. Without him, it's not really that good. All right? Make sure you re-sign him. Get another dog in the receiving core. Jordan Love, another year of time in the NFL being a starter. You're okay. No reason to fire any coaches. No reason to do any of that. You are a good team that's just getting better. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Listen, Tampa. It's time to wake up, right? It's time to wake up. It's time to realize Todd Bowles is not going to take you to a Super Bowl. It's time to realize that Baker Mayfield, outside of a possible miracle, oh my God, unbelievable playoff run, he's not going to bring you to a Super Bowl. It's time. Am I saying blow this entire team up and restart? No. Am I saying that this core of players and this coaching staff is not going to do anything except maybe get you to the playoffs every now and then? Yeah. But Jack, it's back-to-back playoffs. Sure. But really, be honest with yourselves. When it comes down to it, is this team in the future competing with the Packers, competing with the Eagles, competing with the Lions, even competing with the Rams? The Falcons have something cooking in their own division. I don't want to start talking too crazy about it. Even the Commanders. Can this team really compete with the Commanders down the line? I don't think so. You got a lot of older pieces on this team. You got a quarterback that is good. I'm a Baker guy. I've been a Baker guy for a long time. I've been a Baker guy since he came out of Oklahoma. He's not the guy to lead you there. He's not the guy to lead you to the promised land. And please, for the love of God, let's stop pretending Todd Bowles is the head coach in the NFL. Good defensive coordinator. Don't want to take that away from him. Not a good head coach in the NFL. He's okay. He's all right. Right? He's not what he was in New York. But Tampa Bay, it's time to wake up. It's time to smell the roses about this team. This team, its core, the players you got, the coaches you got, it's not going to get you there. You have some bright spots. Bucky Irving looks like he's going to be a good running back in the NFL. But just, I'm not saying blow the entire team up, sell off Mike Evans, sell off Levante David, sell off all these. I'm not saying that. But it's time to wake up and smell the roses. And finally, the Minnesota Vikings losing to the Los Angeles Rams in pretty convincing fashion after getting smacked around for 4 quarters by your division rival in the NFC North title game last week. This collapse that the Minnesota Vikings experienced the past 2 weeks, it happened over 10 weeks after we all expected it. Because let's be honest with ourselves. When it came to Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings, did any of us actually think they were going to make a run at this thing? Did any of us actually think that Sam Darnold was going to be in a quarterback competition with J.J. McCarthy next year? I'm going to say almost the same thing that I said with the Buccaneers. It's time to wake up. Sam Darnold's not a franchise quarterback. He almost Geno Smithed you. He almost Geno Smithed you in believing that this guy could be a franchise guy. For Sam Darnold is a career backup. That's what Sam Darnold is. He had a good year, right? In MVP conversations for a couple weeks. He had a good year. This isn't going to happen again. Sam Darnold is not that guy. Sam Darnold was never going to be in a competition with J.J. McCarthy. You think the Vikings were going to pick J.J. that high? You think the Vikings were going to pick J.J. in general and say, you know what? Actually, Sam Darnold is our guy. No, that was never going to happen. And Sam Darnold just proved he is a career backup. Now, this team did outperform a lot of expectations on defense. And yes, on offense with Sam Darnold. So this team, in terms of where you thought it was going to be, it's a lot further. So this isn't all doom and gloom for the Minnesota Vikings. Depending on what J.J. McCarthy can be, if J.J. McCarthy can have the type of production he had in Michigan, if he could transfer that over to the NFL with the Minnesota Vikings, you will be okay. So Minnesota Vikings fans, I think you are woken up. I think you are like, yeah, okay, that was a fun run. It was fun rooting for the, career backup, team to team, Sam Darnold. Oh, he's finding his legs. He's going to get paid. It was fun following that train. It was fun following that story, but it's reached its end destination. It's time to hop off. It's time to get on the J.J. McCarthy train. It's time to get on the future of the Minnesota Vikings. It's time to wake up. That is it. Subscribe, share, like, comment. Said that in a completely weird order. Go listen to Red Light Homies. I'll be seeing you.